What's cracking, people? Angelic Mayhem here. Today is Monday, March 25th, 2013. Welcome to the first ever episode of Today in Gaming. This video series will be a daily dose of video game news, everything that I can find on the web, and by calling random people on the phone to see if they work in the industry. What do we have in store today? The new Ducktails game will include the original Scrooge McDuck. Halo 4 gets a free new map. XCOM Enemy Unknown will be developed for the iOS. GDC kicks off in San Francisco. EA announces the release date for their upcoming title Fuse. And CCP announces the EVE Online expansion pack Odyssey. Today in gaming, IGN.com reported that the makers of Halo 4 have announced a brand new Forge map which will be released on April 11th, 2013. Though called Forge Island, it should be worth noting that there are apparently 3 islands on the board. One large, one small, and one that's just right. Today in gaming, Telltale Games announced that it is bringing its popular zombie title, The Walking Dead, to the PlayStation Vita, a fantastic boon for a handheld device that only has about 120 titles. While the launch date hasn't been set, we do know that it will coincide with the release of Season 2 of The Walking Dead, which is slated for mid-Q4 of 2013. Today in gaming, Christian Svensson, a senior vice president over at Capcom, posted on the Capcom Unity forums that Ducktails, a video game based on the popular cartoon series from the late 1980s, will feature voiceover work from all of the original voice actors from the series. This includes 94-year-old Alan Young, the original voice of Scrooge McDuck, who was 10 when the stock market crashed in 1929, has done 97 different movies according to the Internet Movie Database. And remember the popular 1960s series Mr. Ed? Yeah, this guy played Wilbur, the dude with the horse. Today in gaming, AtomicGamer.com has announced that 2K Games will launch a port of their popular, though buggy, turn-based tactical role-playing strategy video game XCOM Enemy Unknown for iOS devices. While this game on PC weighs in at a hefty 13 gigabytes of hard drive space, the design team at Firaxis maintains that it will be a straight port without any changes. We'll see about that. Today in gaming, UBM Tech, the owners of Gamasutra.com, kicked off their 2013 gaming conference, aka GDC 2013. Developers from all over the world are descending on San Francisco to talk about how to make, manage, and market video games. GDC, while not known for being a platform for AAA title release information, does have hundreds of independent video game design houses that show off their newest games in an effort to get distribution deals. Of course, there's also lots and lots of speakers at GDC, as well as an esports tournament, the Indie Game Esports Live World Championships, which run from now until Thursday. Today in gaming, in case you missed it, for those of you who are budding independent game developers who are using the Unity 3D video game engine to build your dreams, the guys who make the program have announced that they will be supporting all of Sony's game devices, including the PlayStation 4. This is awesome news for those of us, which includes me, who design games in Unity 3D. This is also big news for PlayStation Network users, who will benefit greatly from the dozens of extra games that they'll have to choose from. Today in gaming, Valve has announced that they will be offering a new subcategory of games for Steam, their proprietary game client, called Early Access. The idea is that game designers can launch their game in alpha format and allow users to play and contribute to the game's development by offering insights, requests, and bug reports. The problem, however, is that all of these alpha games cost money, so you're really paying to play the game before it has actually been finished. This is both good and bad. It's good because an influx of cash can mean the difference between a title getting launched or a title getting lost to time. However, it's bad because you're paying for a game that's not actually finished and can completely change before it's over. Not only that, but a company that ends up in trouble needing an influx of cash probably isn't managing their time well. So what are the odds that they're going to finish the game? Currently, there are 13 games. Chief among them is the first-person shooter Arma 3, which costs $32.99 US, Starforged Alpha, $19.99 US, and the much-anticipated Prison Architect, $29.99 US. Also, for $6.99 US, I found a really unusual platformer called Under the Ocean, where you have to craft objects while you jump from platform to platform. Very curious stuff. Today in gaming, also from the world of Steam, they are currently having their indie spring sale. Games like Puddle, Super Meat Boy, and Gary's Mod are slashed, in some cases up to 70% off. The sale lasts until this Friday, March 29th, 2013. Today in gaming, taking a page from the television industry manual on increasing audience appeal, Capcom has announced that its newest release, Resident Evil 6, will feature crossover characters from Left 4 Dead 2, which is owned by Valve. This is a curious move. The Left 4 Dead 2 characters will not be available in the game at launch. They will instead be added to the game on April the 5th, 2013 as a free update. Notice I said update and not download, which makes me think that you have no choice but to include the new characters even if you don't care about Left 4 Dead 2. Today in gaming, Electronic Arts has announced launch dates of May the 28th, 2013 in the US and May the 31st, 2013 in the UK for its upcoming title Fuse, formerly known as Overstrike, where you play as 4 experimental covert agents who fight aliens to save Earth from a strange device known as the Fuse. Today in gaming, CCP Games, owners of EVE Online, based out of Iceland, announced that their 19th expansion pack will be released for their popular online MMORPG. EVE Online currently has over 500,000 subscribers. The game features 7,929 explorable solar systems, and, as in expansions of the past, Odyssey will add even more ships, base improvements, graphics updates, and, quote, a few surprises. Today in gaming, Ubisoft, the developer of Splinter Cell Blacklist, has posted a video on YouTube with game director Patrick Redding doing commentary with gameplay footage of a level called The Abandoned Mill. Today in gaming, Anodyne, which is an old-school Zelda clone that has been getting a fair amount of press, launched on Steam. As part of the release, Steam is offering a 1/3 off discount, $6.69 US, normally $9.99 US, on the price until Friday, March 29th, 2013. Today in gaming, Spong.com has a blurb about how Ouya, an independent crowd-funded 64-bit console based around the Android operating system, can, as a result of its open development architecture, be outfitted with emulators of other popular systems. Specifically, the article talks about board posts where people with Nintendo emulators for the NES, SNES, and N64 were showing off how it's done. I don't know what the legal precedent, if any, would be for this, but it was raising a few eyebrows, so I'll keep you posted. Today in gaming, Tubal announced the launch of a new game called Market Garden. This is a weird one, but something that could potentially be really cool. Apparently, this game allows you to wander around the Earth while looking at your iPhone or iPad as part of an augmented reality game where you, in real life, travel to real locations in the real world and then interact with the game to visit gardens set up by other players. I know, it's tricky, right? Basically, users of the game set up gardens and then invite other users to visit their gardens in real life. It's a free piece of software and worth checking out if you're into immersive reality stuff. Today in gaming, Warner Brothers, the Hollywood conglomerate, and DC Entertainment, the comic book guys, announced that they will be collaborating to produce a new free-to-play MOBA called Infinite Crisis, based on the DC comic books published back in 2005 of the same name. Basically, it allows you to play as a twisted version of a DC comic book hero, like Nightmare Batman or Gaslight Catwoman. The game is slated to be developed by Turbine, which is the house responsible for Lord of the Rings Online. Today in gaming, the designers of the online game Guns of Icarus are looking to add an additional game mode to their title. This game is a crazy steampunk airship game that actually launched last year after a successful Kickstarter, and these guys have a great track record when it comes to delivering on their promises. The actual game mode is pretty in-depth. You can click on the link for more information. Today in gaming, Gamersgate, the online retailer, has a software bundle on sale for 75% off. It's called the SEGA Action Bundle, and it includes Alpha Protocol, Binary Domain, Viking Battle for Ashgard, These are all really good games. I was a particular fan of Alpha Protocol, save that ridiculous part where you shoot the guy in the face 20 times, but he can still charge you because he's high on cocaine. And if you haven't invested in your super slow-mo option or your pistol's out of bullets, then you're just dead. But the rest of the game rocked. Today in gaming, Polygon.com has reported that Wizards of the Coast is partnering with video game developer Playdeck, the house that brought you the Ascension games, Chronicle of the Godslayer, Return of the Fallen, and Storm of Souls, to bring the Dungeons & Dragons board game to iOS. Rumors are swirling that they might also be released on other platforms. However, since Playdeck's specialty is iOS and other mobile devices, I'm not sure that's actually going to happen. Today in gaming, the popular card game Battle for Hill 218 is now a video game that you can buy for the iPhone or iPad. It is currently retailing for $2.99 US in the iTunes Store. Today in gaming, Kotaku published a handful of awesome cosplays photos from PAX East. Today in gaming, statistics from the 2012 game Mass Effect 3 were released at PAX East this past weekend and posted on Kotaku. There were some really interesting items on the card, including that 92% of players cured the genophage, Liara was the most popular squad member, and only 18% of people played as female Shepard. Today in gaming, one day before the much-anticipated BioShock Infinite launches, everybody and their mother has a review out. As you might expect with any AAA title of this magnitude, it's almost unanimously approved as an awesome game. However, Ars Technica has the best review I've found so far. General consensus seems to be that the game is nerfed a little bit, but the plot is flawless and the art direction is divine. Well, that's it for this episode. If you have a game-related piece of news, email me with a press release link or whatever to angelicmayhem@yahoo.com. That's angelic with a K, and I'll have a look. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please click on the link button or subscribe to my YouTube channel for daily updates on the video game industry. That's it for today. I'll see you later.